And so I did the sketch, and I put it on Pete's desk, and I said, this is going to be the next big thing. Ha, ha, ha. He laughed, and of course he had to top my sketch for doing a little doodle. I loved it, I laughed, so I had to top his sketch. So I did this sketch of all four, and I put a different weapon in each hand, and had a comic book logo up there that said Ninja Turtles, and I did my drawing in pencil. And when Pete inked it in, he had a Teenage Mutant, and we were just laughing so much. It was like, this is the dumbest thing we've ever seen in our life. So the next day we get up, and as I love to say, we didn't have any distracting pain work going on, so we said, look, why don't we come up with a story that tells how these characters got to be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We're not going to send it to another publisher to try to get it published. We're going to publish it ourselves because we're pretty sure that not anybody's going to buy a single copy. Now, it was the May of 1984 when the first issue came out. A lot of people ask where the Turtles' names come from. And this is a mural I did in high school. My graduating class, 1980, I graduated, and I was a huge art history fan, a huge fan of Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo. And so when Pete and I were talking about what should we name these characters, well, you know, traditional Asian names made sense, but we're talking about Ninja Turtles. We're going to come up with something sillier. Doug, Bob, Steve, not silly enough, and I just blurted out, how about Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Raphael? I don't know. And Pete laughed, and so that's the response we wanted. So I always like to say that Donatello was almost named Bernini, because I actually like Bernini as a sculptor better, so we ended up doing the coin toss, and that's how Donatello ended up Donatello, not Bernini. So that's where the names came from. As I said, we self-published the comic book. I had a $500 income tax return. We cleaned out all $200 out of Pete's bank account. I borrowed $1,000 from my uncle. We had enough money to print 3,000 comic books. And we were so sure that we wouldn't sell any that when they got home from the printer, these are actually the first printings of #1 sitting in the corner of the studio. The rest of the books, we made furniture out of them. We had a coffee table, we had end tables, and yeah, we figured we'd make good use out of them. May 5th, 1984, as we had the premiere of the first Turtle comic book, we made sure we invited lots of friends and family so it looked like it had a big crowd around our table, you know. But the book premiered 31 years ago, last May, and man, look at these guys. Working on the mustache. When we finished issue 1, I went back cooking lobsters. I worked in a restaurant on the coast of Maine, and then that fall,